Good morning, Stampers. It is Tammy with Stamp and Scrap Tammy with our weekly Facebook Live this Wednesday, October 7th. I hope you're all having a fabulous day so far. And it looks like we're live. I'm going to see if I can find it like quick today. We'll see. Usually it takes me forever to find these darn things lately. But it did pop up that it is going. So make sure when you tune in that you say hello. We do have a prize patrol for today's video. Oh, I don't want my volume. Always something. Okay, I think I'll be able to see the comments here. So anyways, good morning. I've got some fun projects to share. I showed when I was like 15 minutes away the mess I had because I started this morning with an idea to do one card just to re-show the fun fold that we did last week's video using some different designer series paper. But then I made one card and then I thought, well, this would look great with the puppies, and then, well, we can't leave out the kitties and so on and so forth. So that's what we're going to do today is I'm going to share with you. I think I'm making 4, well, it would be 5. So we'll see how quickly it goes along, but making 5 cards, but it's the same exact card. So it's beautiful. So it's going to give you some great ideas using just switching out your designer series papers. And let's see, what else do we have to talk about? I do want to mention, or not mention, but say thank you so much for all of you for taking part in the virtual party. And if you didn't get a chance to do that, the World Card Making Day Party Group. So I think if you just search Stamp and Scrap Tammy Virtual World Card Making Day, something like that, and it's even on this thread too. So if you just scroll down, you'll find it. The door prize form is still open. All of the challenges are still open where you could share a card. Or the other one, oh, if you want to put your address down. I haven't finalized any of that because I had to restart my computer yesterday and I had some issues with that. So I couldn't do any computer work yesterday, but I'm all set and I'm going to do that tonight. So you have until this evening to take part in any of those things that had Prize Patrol linked to them. And then it'll close after tonight. So anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed that day. I did get really great feedback about the cards we made and the projects with that Joy, I think it was called Joy of Sharing card kit that I did. So here we are for today's projects. Okay, I do have this designer series paper here, sale to highlight because I am using a variety of different designer series today. And I believe all of them but one that I'm using today are on sale. So 15% off select designer series papers. Oh, it looks like my volume is still on here. I'm going to see if I can shut that off. So I hope I'm not having like an echo there. Okay, that should be good to go. All right, and so let me move this. Excuse me. Let's get all set up here. All right, so anyways, I want to highlight the 15% off through the end of the month on these designer series papers. If you'd like to join our Cafe Crafter group and build your community of stamping, I would love for you to join us. And you can even save 15% off when you add any of these to the starter kit. So if you're just online, you can just do the sign up now and that gets you into that area, or you can always contact me. And that puts you a part of our Cafe Crafter group. You can save 20% up to 3 months. If you decide to, stay active with us, you can, continue that discount on forever if you would like to. But it's for sure for 3 months. There's no obligation after that. So you can add any of these into that kit and save an additional 15%. Kit's $99. You do get to pick your choice, anything you want to add in there. So it wouldn't have to be this. It could be anything. And then you get free shipping too. So can't go wrong with that. All right, let's get started today. So these are the stamp sets that I am featuring today. I'm just using the sentiments out of these. And this is what I like to call standalone stamp sets. So it means that there is not like die cuts that are linked to it, or it's not part of a suite. So these are the ones I like to pull in when I want to do different things with my designer series or my embellishments, things like that. And maybe I just want a sentiment. So like, for example, today I am using the Playful Pets designer series paper, but none of the sentiments really fit for what I wanted to do with it. So I'm going to pull in the sentiment from a grand kid. And then I'm also going to use today one of our holiday catalog hostess sets to go with a Merry Hello. And last but not least, I'm pulling in this one. This is kind of an oldie but a goodie. I haven't used this for quite some time, but I'm going to use the Sending Well Wishes Your Ways on this one. And so those are the stamp sets today. And this is the card design we're going with. So very positive feedback last week on this card. And so this is the layout that I am loving, loving, loving. And so I want to share this with you again, so that maybe if you want to write the dimensions down, if you want to take a closer look, take a screenshot, that you can recreate this card yourself as well. And these are the cards that we're going to make. And then of course the playful pets, which I haven't even made yet. So we'll see how that turns out. We'll see how it goes, because I haven't created it on my own even. And so it should be very easy to do though, because it's very similar to these ones. So let's go ahead and get started. And I did cut my paper already. And so I cut it at 4 1/4, and then I will show you the scoring as we go. So it's 4 1/4 by 11. And I'm going to bring in my scoring board, which I'm going to tell you, I don't know that I've ever had as big of a mess as I have right now in my craft room. I have a huge, huge project I'm working on. I am doing a fundraiser with a group, and they turned in their numbers to me. And now they're going to be creating most of the cards, but we have to get ready for about 1,600 cards in the next few weeks. So I just kind of destroyed my room trying to decide designs and then, you know, using up scraps. But good news, while I was doing that, I found my actual scoring tool. So the scoring board comes with a scoring tool, which, you know, it wasn't that big of a deal because the Take a Pick has a scoring tool on it too. But this has been missing for years. It moved from the cafe to here, and I don't know, it just appeared. I don't even remember where I found it. So anyways, let's do this. We're gonna go 5 1/2. And then what we need to do is we need to add another little notch. So I'm gonna go down 1 1/2 inches, and I'm gonna score it at 4 1/4. Okay, so our scoring is 5 1/2, 4 1/4. And then as long as I have this out, I'm going to do for my other cards too. So this would be a great chance or opportunity, even maybe if you have a piece of paper, because this is going to be a second, and you want to set up yourself so that you have a template, 5 1/2, 4 1/4. I'm going to do that a couple more times. So I have a Very Vanilla was that first one. And now these ones here are Whisper White. And it is our thick cardstock. So there are 2 different variations with our white and our Very Vanilla. There is thick, which is what I use for when I'm doing a card base. And then there is another one that is just a little bit more thin, and I use that, or it's not quite as heavy. And then I use that for my inserts, if I'm cutting out like shapes like this. But when I'm using a base, I use what we call our thick. And that is, this is the same, I don't know what you call it, but weight, I think is how you call it in paper, as our regular cardstock, the thick is. All right, so we have those all scored again, 5 1/2, 4 1/4. And I will move here. Maybe I should, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my scoring tool right away, and then I'm gonna put my scoring board even in my drawer where it goes right away. So maybe I can actually get this mess of a room cleaned up at some point. But probably not for a few weeks till we get those 1,600 cards done. All right, so I'm gonna go with the Very Vanilla right away. And let's go ahead, and we're just gonna fold it in half to start. So here's where we have, just like it's a traditional card, just ordinary. But then what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip this part back where we scored it at the 4 1/4. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna give us a surface that is, well, it'll be 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And now we can start our designing. And so this is very easy to do. What I've got here is a 4x4 early espresso cardstock. And then I have my designer series, 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So it's just a nice square. So very easy. And you could pick either side here. I'm gonna go ahead and do the stripes. And I have my Stampin' Seal Plus, so I don't need very much of it. And then we'll go ahead and adhere that so that it is out of the way. Actually, what I should do first, so here, we'll just go like this, put a little bit of adhesive right there. And now we got our card all set up. And the nice part when you do use the white or the very vanilla or a lighter color for your base is you don't have to put an insert on the inside. When I use a darker color, then I do, because you have to be able to see where you're going to be doing your writing, or if you're going to stamp a sentiment on the inside. And let's adhere that. And then on this next little piece, what's nice when you cut all these pieces out, you do end up with these little scraps at the end that sometimes it's a little bit hard to throw away. So I'm going to use them on this one. And so now I just have a 1-inch piece, because if we remember, this is 1 1/4. So now I just have a 1-inch piece here and then a little 3/4 inch scrap. And so I'm not going to adhere it just yet. I'm going to put some ribbon on that. And these cards also today are going to show a wonderful way to use your ribbons without having to tie a bow. And so what I'm going to do with this one, and this one is from the annual catalog. It's just an early espresso. It's got a very nice texture to it. And let's just snip that off a little bit. I guess I don't have the measurements, probably about 5.5 inches or so. And let's go like so. Now, what I'm going to do is just attach this with, you could do a glue dot, but this is the only adhesive that I use that is not Stampin' Up, is I usually just have some regular old tape handy so that I can just tape this to the back. And then I'll adhere this to the front. And that's all there is to that. Just adds a little touch. You could certainly do it without the ribbon, but I like it with it. And since I'm doing on this card, I did do a little bow. But since this one is a little more masculine, I'm going to skip the bow and just leave it like as is here. Okay, and let's see. We got to stamp something now. We got to think about that. Let's go ahead. This is where I brought in the Dandelion Wishes stamp set. And so really the cards today too just have 2 ink colors too. I use the Early Espresso and Real Red is all we're using today. And if you notice, I have so many projects going. So I have just tons and tons of these clear blocks, because I used to do lots of big card buffets. And so, and I still would, or I will again someday, I'm sure, but we'll wait till things calm down in the world. But I have used them all up because I have so many different projects going for that card fundraiser that I am using one of the ones that comes in a kit. So that's a nice thing about all of our kits, like I showed the other day, is they always come with a clear block. So that really helps me when I'm doing big projects. And so you'll see this is one of our clear mount stamps. So now they all have like the adhesive on the sentiment, but I had this one before that was a thing. So that's why I don't have the sentiment on there to see. And I'm just going to let that soak into the paper real nice. And there we go. Very cute. And I wonder if I grabbed the wrong ink pad. I'm going to see if I have my other one. I had re-inked one yesterday. Hold on. Let me see if I have another. Well, I don't have another oval cut to do, but I do want to show you. So I did just re-ink this. So I'm going to actually use this one. So let me show you on my re-inked one. It should be brighter. So I have, like I said, I've been using these so much. So you'll see how nice and bright it should be. And I'll use the one that I already have done. There you go. So that's how it should be. I'll have to set that other ink pad away to re-ink it. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? And again, so this is what I call the Dandelion Wishes, like a standalone stamp set, so that when I want to use up my designer series paper in a different way than how I purchased it, so like I bought the bundle, the autumn, Gilded Autumn bundle. And this paper, good news, it was supposed to be on back order until the end of November. That's how popular it was. but now it's showing sometime here in October. So if you are loving this paper, keep it on your wish list because it is coming back very soon. And we will just go ahead and adhere that. So yeah, so I usually purchase my stamps and supplies within the suite. So I typically like to get the stamp, the die cuts, the paper, the embellishments, and everything all together is my preference. But then after I have it, and I've used it in the first way that I anticipated as a suite, then I like to start looking outside of the box and seeing what else I would like to do with that. And now let's go ahead, and then I pull in other stamp sets. And ones that I've had for a while, you know, maybe one that just caught my eye that I liked. Because believe it or not, I don't own every stamp set. So it's really nice to go back and use ones that I've had for quite some time. So now if you'll see here, I'm just doing like a little zigzag thing. And then I'm gonna show you before I move into our next card, another little project that I made with all my fall leftover pieces. We had our sampler class this week. And if you ordered one to go, it is in the mail. I dropped them off at the post office this morning. Same with that Blossoms in Bloom class. The tutorial went out last night, and then they went in the mail this morning. So thank you all for purchasing that. And oh, I should probably go just a little bigger on this. That's okay. Easy to fix. And so I just did a little zigzag, give it a little look, little dimension, and then I'm going to add dimensionals on here. And I love this that I'm making so many cards right now with you live, because then I'm going to have that many more to send out. We had a great response to World Card Making Day, so I do send 10 free cards when you place an order of $50. And so I need some cards to send these people. So if you place an order, you'll probably be getting one of these cards. I want to send you some new, fresh ideas. And so there's our first card. And let's move into our next one. I did want to create a Christmas card with this too. So I wanted to get started on just laying out some ideas, getting some, getting some thoughts going here on what I'm going to do for Christmas. But of course, then I think that's where the mess came, because once you create one thing, then before you know it, like a tornado goes off and things are just flying everywhere. I really had some great creativity going this week. I'm not sure. I'm so happy about it. But some weeks that's just the way it goes. And I could just probably not even sleep this week. I've been so excited about things. All right. So again, we have our Whisper White thick paper. Then I have a 4x4 real red cardstock. I am pulling in my designer series. I got to look at the name on this. This is one of those that's on sale. 'Tis the Season designer series paper. And again, I'm using this outside of the suite. The suite for this one is so pretty though. I absolutely love it. I actually already did create a few cards with it. I think I showed them at some point, but they're beautiful. And of course it has that coffee cup set. I don't remember the name of it, but and that's, of course, one of my favorites. Speaking of that, I should have, see, I do that about once a video where I'm a little bit too rough. Got to slow down a little bit. There we go. Okay. And adhere that just the same as we did before. Same here. We have this very cute little 1-inch strip of real red that was left over from when I cut out the 4x4. The designer series, that's 3/4 by 3 3/4. Also left over from when I cut the 12x12 sheet. And then here we'll do the same exact thing as before. And, partially why I ended up doing this, I think I talked about this the other day, is, here we go. Here's my little cup of bows. I love to tie bows. And so I was watching a show the other night on I kind of finished crafting, but I wasn't quite ready to go to bed yet. Or my show wasn't over. And so I wanted to just sit and do something because I didn't want to just sit and stare at it, at the computer or the show, whatever. And so I knew that I would be using these eventually. So I just tied up a whole spool of red bows. And so when I was thinking of this card, what I should do, I thought, well, I should probably do something that I can use these red bows that I already have tied. And This will probably be one of my swap cards this next month. I gotta look at the theme. I'm swapping actually, I think, with some of you ladies that are watching. And but I gotta look at the theme. After I made this, I thought, well, maybe that theme isn't Christmas. So I don't know. I gotta take a look at what it is. And then this might be one of my cards. But it might be thankful too, because we might still be thinking Thanksgiving. But either way, I guess I could use this one for that. Oh, and I didn't share the project I was going to before, but I will. Like I said, I'm kind of all over the place because I'm just loving these cards. And I'm going to see if I could see some of the comments. So I did just see a comment here about the designer series. Yes, you can add the designer series with the sale price onto a starter kit, as far as I know. I'm certain that's a thing. And so I'm gonna, but if that's something you're interested in, you can contact me and I will be sure to look it up for you to be 100%. But in the past, all the sale things have been available into the starter kit as well. So I'd imagine it is right now too. So here we go, look at that. So I just added one of my pre-tied bows right here. And then what I have next is I used a 2 1/4, the circle punch in some mossy meadow. Actually, I had these already cut. They were just kind of in a bin. And then let's show, so today's kind of all about showing it outside of the suite. So now I have the Magic in the Night ribbon. I'm gonna just cut a little sliver of it off. You know, and if bows aren't your thing, you could certainly leave that off of there. You don't have to put it on, but as you know, bows are definitely my thing. And let's just go ahead and attach that there. And then let's take some of this Magic in the Night ribbon. Actually, I don't even know if that's what it's called. Let's see what it is called. Oh, metallic mesh, but it is from the Magic in This Night set. Okay, and now I'm just gonna take a glue dot and plop it down there. And I want it to stick out, but I'll probably have to cut a little bit of this off. Obviously, I got a little too wild there. And so again, it's just fun to add a little more dimension to the card. And that's all my goal there was for. And now let's take our next stamp set. And this is a host set, so if you would like to be a hostess, and a hostess doesn't have to mean that you're having a party. Okay, you could be a hostess by just placing a $150 order, and then you can get that $15 for free yourself. You get all the additional perks that I still offer, like the 10 free cards, the punch card, all of that. And you could pick this as your host reward if you'd like. Now, host rewards, you can pick absolutely anything you want. But with host rewards, that's the only way to get this stamp set. Very super cute. Nice little sayings on there. And I'm going to use the A Merry Hello today. And we're going to use some real red. Okay. Yes, I saw Mary Alice's comment about using the pre-made leftovers. That's pretty much what I've been pulling for all of those cards that I'm doing. And of course, I'm going to have to cut 1,600 cards is a lot. But I've been looking at all of the little doodads that I have that are already cut out, you know, little miscellaneous embellishments and all of that kind of stuff. It's nice. So I have a little bin that I keep a lot of these in. I don't know if I have it handy. No, it's on the other side of the island. But I do have a little bin that I keep extra ovals. So when I have a scrap, when I'm cutting stuff out, you know, and there might be just a little bit left on the paper, I just grab an oval out, a circle, you know, whatever will fit on there, cut it out, and then I plop it in the bin for it to use at a later date. And a lot of times, you know, it wouldn't be enough for a full, huge card class project any done, but at least I have it cut when I want to just throw together some samples, or you know, the ideas are flowing and I just want to quickly put things together. And so I'm attaching that. So I'm using the stitch circles here today, and then the circles too. So these are all in the back of the annual catalog. You'll be able to see all the different dies on here. And isn't that pretty? So now let's just attach that with some dimensionals. I'm going to put a few extra on here because it is going over that mesh. And so I just want to make sure it's nice and sticky. And then if I have the embellishments I used, or the little gems, I will attach a few of those. here they are. And so I am using the Wonderful Gems. That is just actually what there's a couple of them that would look great with this. But these ones were the ones that were handy. So that is how it ended up today. And so you'll see how today evolved. I'm going to put 3 on here, maybe a few more. Today evolved with, I was just going to show that first fall card. And then I thought, well, this one is certainly beautiful. And then I got to thinking at about 10 o'clock, so about an hour ago, that I got to use these little pets because it's the same exact layout, same colors as the Merry Hello card. And so it wouldn't take that much more effort to go ahead and do that. And let's do them at the same time. And I had also been working with a stamp set that I really want to share too, that I know some of you have purchased. Oh, and now I'm doing the pet card. Molly must have heard. She just decided to come in and make it be known she's here. Molly is our lab. Actually, this morning, funny that I'm doing this card. This morning, Molly ran away from me. I let her out and she's kind of an old dog, so she doesn't ever really go anywhere. But I went to let her back in and she was gone. And so I went around our court where, oh my, I hope she's okay. The kids are home, so one of the kids can get her. But anyway, so I went around the court where it's been years since she's ever really left the yard, but where she used to go. And she wasn't there. And then, so I was all the way across the court and I heard her barking. And when I got back home, she was sitting at the front door waiting for me to let her in. So she didn't go far, but just enough where I couldn't find her. All right, so you see I'm doing the same exact layout as I'm just chit-chatting here. These little 3/4 inch strips, again, were the leftover from the designer series that I cut. So there's very, very little waste on these. Really, I don't think there's any at all when you use this. Oh, there, I put it with the cat. I didn't really want to do that. Let's go the other way. I want to do the little kitty on the back so that I get the design on the other side for this one. And now we can do our ribbon here. We can use the ribbon that is in there, but since I have this cut in handy, I think what I will, well, no, I don't want to do that. Because you know what? This is this month's birthday club. So just like that Blossoms and Bloom class that I sent out today, if you ordered that and that I showed last week, this month's product feature is the Playful Pets suite. So this is the suite that we're going to be using. And so I should make, this will just be one of my samples. So if you get that kit, I really didn't plan that. I just thought of this right now, that I will have a sample ready to go for my class that is first later this month. I'll feel like really ahead of the game. And so this is the ribbon that is included in that suite. So now I did go back to using products that are just in the suite for this one card. And let's see here where I put my card bases. Kind of going totally out of the order that I did the other ones. That's just how it goes once you start going here. And so there are 2 different ribbons. So I think what I should do, and then there's these cute little things. Look at that, little dog bones and then the hearts. So probably do the bone for the dog and the little heart for the kitty. Just adorable. So I have not used this set yet. I have gotten some very cute samples from friends. And so I'm going to leave myself, I'll just tie a little bow on that. So this is the one that I had not made yet. So just bear with me as I go through my design process. So maybe that's why it's a little messy and I don't know what I'm doing here. So I think we could do this one of 2 ways. We could tie a bow and then attach it with a glue dot, or I can just tuck it under here maybe. Excuse me. Let's just see how this goes. If I gotta redo it, okay, here I go with those words. If I have to redo it, I have to redo it. But oh, look at that. Look at how cute that is. Okay, that's gonna work just great. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. For some reason, once you put it together with the paper, the ribbon, it just changes the look of it. I mean, they're cute when you just see them in that little container. But for some reason, this just really brings it to life. Oh, I love it. Okay, so now let's bring this in. And so depending on, you know, the playful pets, we have the kitties and we have the dogs. And now if you are neither a cat person or a dog person, that does not matter with this sweep because, you know, you have a dog lover or a pet lover in your life. So you have people you could mail this card to. I just know it. I think we all do. And I never was much of a dog person. Most of you know I talk about that until recently when I am home full-time now during the day. And now I've really taken to liking the dogs being around. Not so much when they run away from me like this morning, but the rest of the time it's pretty nice to have them around. And Melody, Allison's dog, she comes up every afternoon about 2 o'clock because she wants me to take a nap. And actually today she was already kind of whining a little bit. And I had to tell her that no nap today, maybe on Saturday I'll have time for a nap. Okay, and so now I just have that same size stitch circle. And this is where I'm going to bring in this stamp set. This has been a popular stamp set. It's called a Grand Kid because I thought this would be a nice card to send for a kid too. So again, we have our regular, the layout. Let me say that again, just in case you're just tuning in. So what I did, I just cut it at 4 1/4 by 11, and then I scored at 5 1/2, a traditional, and then at 4 1/4, and that's how I got that different fold, and then just taped it down there. And so let's bring back in our real red ink. And so yeah, back to, I thought this would be a great card to send a child or a pet lover, of course, too. You could send this to a dog. So smart, so fun, so sweet, and so wonderful. So maybe you have friends that celebrate their pet's birthday. Or you just want to be kind of quirky and just send the dog a card or the kitty a card. And now I'm noticing I did not cut out, in my rush to design this card at 10 o'clock, an hour before our video, I didn't cut out my stitch. So I'm going to do that real quick. And I do need to cut a little piece of paper here, so just take a look at those cards while I cut this. And just to save time, since I got my station all set up, I'll just do my die cutting right behind me here with my Stamp Cut Emboss machine. And I'll cut out 2 real quick. And so just like that, I got 1 done. And let me do the other one here. I knew I was missing something today. But so far, I don't think I'm missing too much for how last minute I prepared these. Then I still have one more thing to show at the end. Again, all the videos are Prize Patrol, so feel free to share, like, comment on what you think of today's projects, and you will be entered for Prize Patrol. And now I lost my other thing. Oh, goodness, Tammy. Okay. Oh, well, maybe we are just going to make the puppy today, unless it shows up here. Do you see how that works? You can lose. Oh, it's on the card. Oh my. Okay. I guess that's how the day's going today. I think that might be the first thing I lost today, though. So I guess I'm doing pretty good. It's already 11:30 here, so if I haven't lost anything yet, not a bad way to be going. All right, and so I'm going to attach that there. I'm trying to decide if I want anything else. I might want to do that little zigzag again behind there. Or let's try this. I'm just going to go around. Oh no, let's do the other one. Let's do the black. So we'll just go around a couple times. And this is how I do that little messy background. I do that quite a bit. So I just went around about 3 times. And now I'm going to make it like an 8, like so. And take a glue dot and put this about in the center where I'm thinking I'm going to put this. And now we'll attach that with dimensionals. And that is going to finish off our cute little puppy card that we can send either to our smart, fun, and sweet puppy loving friends to give their puppy, or this would be a great children's birthday card. And there is a nice, I have it full of Night of Navy ink, or I'd bring it out. There's a nice happy birthday in this grandkid set too. All right, and last but not least, we have to finish off the kitty. We can't leave that kitty out. If I have, maybe I didn't score another base. Oh, I did. I have one more base ready. So I might as well finish it as long as we are here. And I am going to use the bone fold to do that. And then again, just fold it back. Give yourself just a little bit of adhesive right there. And we need to do our ribbon again. So you see how many cards I'm going to have done in this short amount of time. And a sample for my Playful Pets class. That's pretty exciting. I had not planned to even probably look at that stuff until the week of the class, but now maybe I'm gonna just finish it off this afternoon. Although I can't. I have to do my paperwork stuff that I couldn't do yesterday when my computer wasn't working. I had to restart it. It took like 7 hours. It said 6 hours, and then it was 2 different updates that had to be done. And the first one, it said like 2 hours and 29 minutes left. And then I go back a half hour later and it would still say 2 hours and 29 minutes left. Okay, I did lose the heart for the kitty. Here it is. It blends right in with the paper. And so let's just do the same as we did the last time with the little dog bone. Be cute to tie a little bow on this too, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to do it the same as I did before. And it works nice that I glued that down now first, because this is going to stay in place real good while I'm tying this. Otherwise that might be moving around a little bit. So super cute. And this really goes to show why I do usually start before I work with those standalone stamp sets with the suite and designer series, why I do go with using everything in the suite, because as long as you stick with a whole suite with the embellishment, ribbon, paper, you are going to have perfect coordination. There's never a question about your coordination when you stick with one product suite. You don't have to worry about matching colors or anything like that. It's all going to match no matter what you do. Add in a few cardstock colors and you're set to go. I'm going to do that little 8 trick again. Or circle, whatever you want to call it. Crazy 8. Let's call it Crazy 8. So yeah, let's call this my Crazy 8 technique. That sounds good. See if I can remember that. All right, and then I'll just put it down with a glue dot, add the dimensionals, and that is going to take care of the projects we are creating today. So one thing I have been really wanting, one of my goals for the Stampin' Up! Year, I talked about that last week, is that we started a new Stampin' Up! Year, October 1st, so it's like Happy New Year. One of my New Year's resolutions, as far as my creativity goes and my stamping, is something I wanted to do for myself is scrapbook. I love to scrapbook. So I have not been scrapbooking though much lately, because I just have gotten busy with cards and stuff. So that is one of my goals. So I also, this morning, after I had this fall paper out, and I have lots of little doodads left from the sampler class, used some here and made a scrapbook page. I kind of owed Allison a scrapbook page because I did Brody's in the World Card Making Day when I was featuring that kit. So here is a scrapbook page that I made up featuring Allison from last fall. And so that is kind of my goal, is to get back into scrapbooking. And maybe if I tell you all about it, it will hold me accountable, and I'll try to pop in and show you a page here and there, just using the same supplies. So this just used this designer series. This is actually the back of this designer series paper. And just a quick, fun scrapbook page that I now have done. I can mount it on a 12 by 12 if I want, or I just have a nice 8.5 by 8.5 page that I can put it up on the wall and enjoy it for a while and then put it into their album. So I was really happy with how this turned out. I had some great pictures printed a couple weeks ago, and I'm finally getting them onto paper. So that's pretty exciting. So this was from last fall. So now I'm feeling not so far behind. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. So if you are a card maker, maybe you wanted to dabble in scrapbooking. And now this one, I think for the fall will be perfect to set up on the bookshelf, maybe on a little easel. And then, like I said, I can put it into an album later on. So if you're a card maker, you know, maybe think outside the box with your card supplies too. If you're a scrapbooker, maybe do the same the other way and make some cards. And so I really want to just continue to share with you some other alternatives to other than just cards every week. So here is my scrapbook page. I will bring in the rest of the supply or the cards that we made today, move some of this other junk, or not junk. Oh my gosh, I just called my stamp supplies junk. It is not junk. I'll move some of my treasures, my collection out of the way so that I can show, I cannot believe I just said that, so that I can show you all the projects in one view before we sign off for the day. Be sure, if you'd like to still take part in the World Card Making Day, look up that group if you hadn't already, because I was supposed to end it on Monday, but with those computer issues yesterday, I'm not going to be closing out the party with prize patrols and door prize winners and all of that until tonight after I get home from some kids' activities. We have a distance learn day today, so we have to get everybody on track with some school stuff here. And then, so look at that, same card, just a little bit different. So these don't actually all really match once I get them all together here, I guess. But I think there still looks great. Great layout. Great idea for you to try. So if you try it, I would love to see your project in the comments if you'd ever like to share that. Or even on that World Card Making Day page. Feel free to share. I would love to see a different take on the layout that I made today. All right, everybody, so that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It went a little longer than I anticipated, but I just really had to get these little pet cards in there too. So you guys all have a wonderful day, weekend. We will be back on Friday with a Sharon show at 1 p.m. Central Time, and then back with our regular Facebook Live next Wednesday. Will be October 14th already at 11 a.m. So anyways, stay tuned for the winners of the World Card Making Day celebration. In that group, they'll be posted. Weekly email goes out tomorrow morning. So be sure to follow my email or send me a message if you need me to get you added to that email list so that you can get the free tutorial of the week and all the happenings that Stamp and Scrap Tammy has going on. All right, see y'all later.